Our longest running brands here at HSN, it's called Professor Amos. And Professor Amos, and by the way, guys, if somebody could help me bring a monitor over and turn those lights on, that would be awesome. But Professor Amos is known for amazing cleaning products, products that make life easier around the house. And in this particular instant, we have a product that's going to save you a ton of money because this is called the SuperFast Drain Cleaner. And it's really interesting. This is one of those products that you don't use every day. The other day, I want to say it was about a week ago, and my husband and I each have our own sink in our bathroom, and my sink clogs more than his. Gee, I wonder why. So I was so happy I had this because frankly, let's all be honest, a lot of us right now are not having people come in our homes. You're not calling a plumber, right? You're not calling somebody to come do work in your home because we are all trying to be safe at home. So with that said, if you have a drain, a shower, a sink that needs a little unclogging, we have the most remarkable drain cleaner for you, and this is a 2-pack. This is like a buy one, get one free, basically. It's $37.95. It's on 6 payments, wow. $5.83 on FlexPay. It is made in the USA. It is super fast, and you don't have to just take my word for it. We're gonna give a full demo because we have Amos Harp III, who is Skyping in live. Hi, Amos.
Colleen, it's so good to be with you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing good and staying safe where you are.
Definitely, definitely. And when you have a clog at home, you need a proprietary formula, something that breaks down the grease and oils without hurting your pipes. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Super fast, you take 6 to 8 ounces of it. That's all you need. You pour that right down your drain line. Watch what happens. SuperFast has an accelerated formula. What that means to you is it works on contact. You don't have to wait 60 minutes. You don't have to wait 30 minutes. You give it the 10 seconds to start to go to work. Now, SuperFast turns your hair into foam. It turns all your grease into foam. It turns all your food into foam in about 10 minutes. That's called saponify. That's the dynamic way that it works, turning everything in the drain line into foam. Now, that foam, it breaks down into liquid. Inevitably, this all passes through your drain line when you run out of water, and then you're going to have a squeaky clean drain line. We've all done this part before. We've all been out to the home stores and the depots, and when you use a product like this, you're doing more damage than good. I read the label on here. Colleen, products like this contain acid, bleach, ammonia, animal fats, and lies. They tell you to pour that whole bottle right down the drain line, but watch this. It smells so bad, and they tell you to pour half that bottle down there.
Jeez.
I want you to stop and take a look. Watch this. 90% of those chemicals, they trickle right past and they ooze right past the clog. They end up down here at the bottom of your line. That unit, that curve unit, is called a trap. That's to hold fluids to keep odors from coming back up and permeating through your house. But the chemicals are sitting there building heats of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That's way too hot for your drain lines. Remember, it's still cold out in parts of the country. And when your pipes go from extremely cold to hot fast, they're going to crack. And then you got to call a plumber. And that's when you're inviting somebody into your house.
Exactly. One thing I should mention too, as he was mentioning in that particular demonstration, he was showing you that those other cleaners, you have to pour the whole darn bottle down your drain. In this instance, one bottle is 4 drain cleanings, right? I mean, you essentially can get 4 drain cleans and you're getting 2. So this is going to last you a long, long time. And listen, you want to have it on hand. You don't use it every day. You use it when you need it. And that's why I was saying last week, I needed it. And it really works, and then I don't have to, worry about calling a plumber. I don't have to worry about, my husband is a plumbing contractor, and frankly, I know what it costs to call a plumber. So bottom line is, just makes the job so much easier. Anybody can do it, and it works fast, and it works effectively, and you want to have it on hand. That's the key. You don't want to wait till you have the clog, and then you have to kind of, scramble to figure it out. So I just like that it works. I mean, I get a lot of hair in the sink. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, if you have hair, whatever it might be, we think about all the soaps and the lotions and the things that we use, and it builds up and it clogs up our drains. It just does. So this is just like going in and whoosh, cleaning it all out for us.
That's it. Now I want you to count. I just poured that down the drain line. I want you to count to yourself, how long does it take for this to activate and go to work? You'll see that it's been 10 seconds or less, and already last week's food, last month's food, last year's food, it's hard and solidified in that drain line. It doesn't matter how long and how hard it's been in that drain line. SuperFast is designed to break it all down and turn it into foam, saponifying everything. Now, like I said, you'll leave that sit. for about 10 minutes, let it break down. You'll hear your drain lines burping and gurgling. And ultimately, you'll hear that suction sound when something goes down the drain. It goes.
Yes, that's music to our ears.
Music
right?
to your ears, yes, yes. So back to test tube number 2, we use that consumer product that you see at the store all the time. Nothing's happened. You can smell the chemicals that stink so bad. One thing they tell you on the back of that red bottle, they say don't mix chemicals. You already know you'll have a bad chemical reaction. But since SuperFast doesn't have acid, bleach, ammonia, animal fats, or lyes, it has that accelerated formula that gets right through those toxic chemicals and starts to react right away, turning it all into foam, even through the acid in the ammonia and even through the animal fat, the soap and everything. And it's breaking it down, saponifying everything. And you let that happen. And then you can run the hot water. I'm going to run the water now for you so you paint the perfect picture for you. And here's the deal. If you have a second-story home, third-story home, I would use SuperFast at night, use it upstairs, and let it work its way down through your plumbing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let it work its way down through the plumbing overnight. And in the morning, you'll run that hot water for 5 minutes. You'll see everything in the line passes right through there. You won't have the stink in the sink anymore. Some of those drain gases and drain odors will be gone. And you'll just love it.
Oh, you will. You guys, if you can use express ordering, I apologize. We have a lot of people on hold waiting to get in this afternoon. So if you'd like to get yours, that's a little tiny. You cannot call a plumber. They will not come to your house for $34.95. I promise you that. One trip is going to cost more than that. And that's the first thing. The second thing is most of us are not having people come in our homes right now, right? I mean, that's all kind of on hold. And so because of that, this you need. This is like having that plumber there when you need it. You can do it yourself. This is at least 8 applications because you only need 8 to 10 ounces per treatment, and you get 32 ounces per size, and that's times 2. So you are getting 64 ounces coming home to you, and all you do right now is spend $5.83 free shipping. $5.
Whoa.
Now understand, that's what's important to note about this, is that you get a 3-month return policy. So you're gonna have plenty of time to see if it works. And if you have, I remember growing up, I have 4 sisters, I'll never forget this. Our little bathrooms that we all shared one bathroom, and that sink was always clogged. And my dad was a plumber. And the last thing my dad wanted to do when he came home from work was unclog drains, right?
Right.
I mean, seriously, if you have daughters, if you have people with hair, and now everybody's home more, everybody's using the shower, everybody's doing right? I mean, our poor bathrooms are getting more wear and tear than ever before, and this is going to help keep those drains clean. It's smart. Can you use it for maintenance too, or you just kind of wait until it looks like you might start to be getting a little drain clog?
Definitely use it for maintenance. You don't have to have a clog. But let me explain one thing. Colleen, the dirtiest place in your whole house, and you probably already know this, it's the drain line of your kitchen sink. There's about 500,000 particles of bacteria per square inch. Ooh. That's what's in the drain line. You got to eliminate that because bugs and critters, they feed on there. There might be stuff coming up out of the drain lines at nighttime that you know what I'm talking about. So this big hunk of oil byproduct right here represents last week's food, last month's food, even last year's food. It's hardened and solidified. So I took 6 ounces of our SuperFast drain cleaner. You pour that down the drain line. You leave it sit for 10 minutes. Let the product do the work. My dad is Professor Amos. He taught me growing up. He said, son, above all things, get understanding. Let the product do the work so you don't have to. We want you to work smarter, not harder.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I mean, seriously, there's no plunger. You're not using a snake. You're not using all of the other equipment that, you need to get out and the professionals need to use in order to unclog those drains. But I love what you just said, Professor Amos, is use this every now and then just for maintenance on your drains. Like your kitchen drain, just to keep it fresh smelling, to keep it clean, to keep everything moving. So every now and then, I mean, you get 8 applications of this, right? So you may as well use it to clog the drain and then to keep it unclogged, right?
That's right. Colleen, you're going to get 8 to 12 applications because if you don't have a clog, like you were talking about, if it's just a slow drain or a smelly drain, you use 2 to 4 ounces of SuperFast.
Perfect. Okay.
And a slow drain, it's like 4 to 6 ounces. For a clog drain, it's 6 to 8. Okay. And let me just show you. We were talking about all the washing of the hands, and maybe you have pets at home. There's so much washing of the hands these days. And once you wash that dog or that cat, and that drain line was going to look something like that because the hair is the #1 culprit when it comes to your clogs. Hair just clings to those sticky walls. It builds a nest of hair until nothing can get through. Your lines are choked out. So clean and maintenance your drain lines, even if it's just slow or smelly. Don't wait till there's a clog. Do yourself the biggest favor favor. Now, I have a side-by-side I'm going to do right here. I'm going to put 6 to 8 ounces of SuperFast in test tube number 1. There it is. Test tube number 2, Colleen, I'm going to pour this whole bottle of this yellow consumer, the stuff with the acid, the stuff with the bleach, the ammonia. There it is, the whole bottle. Now,
wow.
I've got to point one thing out. Over here, you see all these chemicals end up at the bottom of your drain lines, and those chemicals are sitting there, and they're building heats of 160 degrees. That's too hot for your drain lines, and when your drain lines go from cold to hot fast, remember, they'll crack. Now, test tube number 1, you see SuperFast is breaking things down. There's no heat index. It's not heating up your drain lines.
Interesting. You know what I think is also important, you guys, and again, thank you for using express ordering. Wow, are we busy. But one of the important things we're saying, you know, instead of having to call the plumber, frankly, a plumber doesn't want to come and do this. This is really not what they want to come and do. And I know that because I speak from a pretty authoritative position, because not only was my dad a plumber, my grandfather was a pipe fitter, my brother is a plumber, my nephew is a plumber, my husband's a plumbing contractor. I know plumbers. And they don't want to come out and just, if you have a little drain that needs a little cleaning, they really don't want to have to drive to your house and do that. I mean, seriously, right?
They don't want to come out and do dad stuff like your dad used to pull the hair.
Exactly.
They want to come out for a real job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
That's it. So you guys, thank you so much. Amos, this is outstanding. We're very busy. I appreciate you Skyping in. I have a question for you. Where are you? You look like you're in a studio.
Well, we are. We're at my dad. My dad has a training facility for me to go through my demos all the time. And it's I'm right down the street from you.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for being there. Thank you for Skyping in with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Colleen.
Take care, Amos.
Everybody be safe.
We will. You too. All right. Stay right there. Don't hang up if you're ordering. And thank you so much for your calls, everybody. That's a 2-pack. You heard what he said. It can be depending on how